All right, welcome back, everyone. It was less than 5 minutes by a pretty big amount, as it was only about a 2-minute break between the games. So that just means we get back into Dota a little bit quicker. Hopefully, if you did go and grab a snack or a drink or whatever, you're back already, so you're not going to miss too much of the draft. As you know, some people really like to watch the draft and see what unfolds in the draft and how it comes out in terms of order. I know I'm one of those viewers as well. But we've got this best of 5 between Boreal eSports and the North American Rejects for the grand finals of the Dota 2 Canada Cup. Once again, I am Niz. Thanks for joining us on NizCast. As we've already covered, well, we've covered the entire tournament all the way up to the grand finals here. And Boreal eSports, they've impressed. They have impressed all tournament long. Game 1, North American Rejects really looking like the better team between these two, but it is just one game. Boreal eSports, they came out swinging. They got off to that early lead, but as the game went forward, North American Rejects just found those little advantages here or there, and that helped propel them further along. Still, with that win, the North American Rejects yet to lose a game in this tournament. They lost one in the group stage to top 5, but they had 2 players with ridiculous DC issues, so that one doesn't really count. If we exclude that game, they've been undefeated, haven't dropped a single match all tournament long, which is quite impressive, including even knocking off the defending champion, which was Summer's Rift, who, well, they didn't even make it to the losers bracket finals, as they got knocked out.
Reserve time.
As well, we are going to have well, a different champion this time around, but also a different runner-up, as the runner-up last year was Wheel, which we saw Boreal beat in the losers bracket finals. So we are going to have a different first and second this time around. So that's pretty awesome, seeing all that get changed and mixed up a little bit. If you don't know anything about the Dota 2 Canada Cup, head on over to DotA2.ca. You can find out a little bit more about the tournament there. You'll also find out that there is an official channel for the Dota 2 Canada Cup, and that's at twitch.tv/Dota2 Canada Cup. Nice and easy. You guys can go check that out as well. But of course, I will still be here casting all the stuff as well. So yeah, you can go check it out, but also feel free to stay here and to watch the games with me. But one thing that you should do is buy the in-game ticket for $9 American, as it will help support the tournament, make sure that they're able to do these do more of these tournaments in the future. But it also 12.5% of that prize, or of that ticket price, does go back into increasing the prize pool. So yeah, that's a way that you can support the players as well as the tournament. And we started with about $10,000 prize pool. We're just under $12,000. So buy those tickets, support it, try to get that 12,000. But our draft has progressed quite a bit here, as we had the Clockwork opening from Boreal eSports, but the Wisp and the Tiny were picked up by the NA Rejects, looking to change the pace of these games a little bit and maybe play a little bit more active on the map. But let's step back and look at the bans, as we had Undying and Shadow Fiend banned out by Boreal, Gyro and Visage banned out by the NA Rejects, Queen of Pain and Puck were the next bans for Boreal, and then Lena and Earthshaker were the bans for the NA Rejects. I didn't mention the second pick from Boreal, but it was the Witch Doctor, and they followed that up with the Storm Spirit. NA Rejects then picked up the Rubik once again, so expect Chad to be on that. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe Chad is the Wisp player. I'm not sure, but we'll see if Chad will be on that Rubik once again, or maybe it'll be fogged, and Chad will be playing the Wisp. Who knows? We'll see in due time. But we will see the Storm Spirit for Boreal and Kikoni in, I believe, was it the first game? I think it was the first game against Wheel. We saw, because, first game he played, because he didn't play in game one. Game one, Demon played. But game two in that series, I believe Kikoni played the Storm Spirit, which they ended up losing. But I'm not saying to blame that all on Kikoni's Storm by any means.
10 seconds remaining.
But they will go for it here once
5
again.
seconds remaining.
Spirit Breaker will be getting picked up here by the NA Reject, so really looking to be all over the map, in your face DotA between the Spirit Breaker charges, the Wisp Tiny relocates. They're going to be all over the place. Rubik, one of those heroes that likes to move around. He's always there, always with that strong lift disable. And it's not so much the fact that you're just lifted and you can't move, but the fact that he can just throw you to a location that's putting you in an even worse position.
Radiant team
Boreal satisfied with what the Sand King was able to do for them last game. Pizza Dad did all right on it. He had some nice, good stun initiations, but it felt like there was no follow-up. It felt like his team just kind of got run over by the NA Rejects. And maybe you could say part of that was on Pizza Dad being a little overzealous with that initiation on the Sand King. But they will go for it here once again. Obviously, they do have some confidence in their Sand King. Sand King, one of those heroes that's going to be great to counter a Wisp relocate as well. Certainly not as much so as something like a Disruptor, but Boreal not really in a situation where I'd at all feel comfortable running a Disruptor as their second support. So they're going to pick up the Sand King instead, and that's going to give them a little bit of a more greedy support, but also one that's not so susceptible to relocate ganks, and will also be able to help in the event of a nearby ally getting relocate ganked. But we wait our last two bans here to close everything out. As North American Rejects, so far their lanes probably going to be running the Wisp Tiny in the mid lane, Spirit Breaker off lane, Rubik and X in the safe lane. As PL is going to get banned out. PL is one of those heroes that Boreal likes to run a lot. Of course, it was a hero that they ran when they were playing with Angry Testy quite a bit. But of course, Kikoni has been standing in for them. Not sure if that is a roster change for them or not. But either way, PL will get removed from the pool here, as Boreal is going to be looking for a safe lane farmer, as it looks like they're going to have Clock in the off lane, Storm Spirit in the mid, and then Witch Doctor, Sand King babysitting a hero that's yet to be determined. But Magnus getting banned out by the NA Rejects, as that's, you know, I did mention a safe lane farmer was going to be what the NA Rejects is going to be looking for. But it isn't going to necessarily be a really hard carry because they are going to have Tiny. So a hero like Magnus, a hero that's going to, a typical hero that maybe just wants to get its one core item like a Blink Dagger and start getting involved. Magnus is kind of one of those heroes. Other heroes like that, maybe even a safe lane Centaur, Slardar, that kind of thing. I'm not saying that these are the kind of heroes that they're going to pick. I think Queen of Pain would be terrific for them, but it did get banned, so obviously that's not an option. But Nyx Assassin is going to be the pickup for them. The reason I was saying something like a Queen of Pain, although I can't really think of an alternative that would have really worked for them, was right now their main sources of damage was going to be a Tiny and a Spirit Breaker, which are both melee. So it's nice to have something that can deal damage from range, and not necessarily just right-click damage, but just be able to deal that damage from a distance. Something like a Queen of Pain, being able to throw out her Sonic Wave. But I can't really think of a hero that would really fit into that role based on what's still left in the pool. So they go with the Nyx Assassin instead, and that's going to give them a lot of burst damage. It's a hero that's going to really punish the Witch Doctor if he's left alone. And I'm not sure how Spike Carapace works with regards to Witch Doctor Death Ward. If you get hit by that, does that stun the Witch Doctor, or does it work? Does it reflect just to the Death Ward? so it doesn't do anything. I'm not sure. But that synergy would be there. Either way, he's probably going to get his Blink Dagger and be able to jump on the Witch Doctor anyways. But Wind Ranger is going to be the final pick for Boreal, so not really going that hard of a carry. They're looking to have that kind of mid-game presence in this one, as well, North American rejects they haven't really invested that much in the late game either. Tiny, of course, is probably going to be the hardest carry in this game. In this pool of 10 heroes, but certainly not the hardest carry in the game.
Remaining.
But it's
5 seconds.
It's going to be a battle between that Storm and the Tiny. But we jump into the game and we jump immediately into a pause. As it looks like Ush is so Kekoni was it sounds like Kekoni, so first of all, Kekoni was having internet issues in the best of 3 going up against Wheel. So that's why he didn't play in game 1, because his internet went out and they had to replace him because it took him a while to get back up. So they had to get a stand-in for that game 1, and they picked up Demon. And Demon played quite well in that game 1. He actually didn't even die. He was playing safe lane Weaver. And yeah, he played pretty well in that game. But then Kekoni came back for game 2 and 3, and he played quite well. But we saw in game 1 of this series, he whiffed 2 of those 2 sonic waves back to back, not hitting anyone. So obviously he was having a little bit of issues there, and you know, the admin just asking about his connection there, and he says it was his electricity this time. So I'm not really sure what that means. Not sure how electricity could cause you to be having lag. Maybe I'm just completely oblivious to all this, but. But it sounds like it's going to be fixed. So expect big things for Kekoni. I feel like I'm really setting the stage for him, and he's going to go bonkers this game, or maybe I'm just kind of setting him up to fail. We'll have to see. But the ball is in your court, Kekoni. As it should be. As it should be. Unfortunately, we're still waiting here for Ush to reconnect. But it sounds like he's going to be restarting, whether or not that's his client or his whole computer. I was going to say hopefully he's got an SSD, but Fog's saying going to be a few minutes. His PC is being a piece of crap. That's what he said. So I'm guessing he doesn't have an SSD, so it could be a little bit longer for this restart. But then we'll jump into it. In terms of our lanes, what do we have so far? Well, I did mention that we're going to most likely have that Wisp Tiny in the mid lane. I don't think that's going to change at all. Spirit Breaker is going to be in our off lane, and then the Rubik and the Nyx Assassin are still going to be in the safe lane, with the Nyx probably farming. As well, Korok is going to be playing that, so most likely it will be farming. But I think that's what our lanes are going to look like. As for Boreal, I expect it's just the standard lanes as well. Storm Spirit mid, and then Clockwork. Yeah, so I'm not thinking about the Clockwork. The Clockwork's definitely going to be bottom. But I think what they could do, and what they may do, is actually in the top lane just run the Wind Ranger with the Sand King kind of popping in and out of the jungle, and they might put their Witch Doctor in the mid lane to help out the Storm. That's one of the options. One of the other options is to make sure you're really stacking up your camps in the jungle. This camp closest to the Dire base is one that you know, that a mid Storm Spirit or Shadow Fiend really likes to go to. They come up here from the mid lane and they wipe out this camp, and they get some farm through that. The problem is you've also got a Sand King, so he's going to want to be farming as well in the jungle and doing his own stacks, and that's kind of one of the big camps that Sand King is going to be going after. So it'll be interesting to see how Boreal chooses to do this, because if you aren't creating a position in the jungle where your Storm Spirit can go and get that little bit of farm, then he's going to struggle a little bit if he's up against a dual lane of a Wisp Tiny. So we'll look to see how Boreal's going to address that. But it looks like this is going to be a little bit more of an extended pause, so I'm going to throw it to music in the meantime. So, well, enjoy some approaching Nirvana until then, but hopefully it won't be too long. I'll be right back.
know you're a monster.
Looks like we're about to resume here, so finally Ush was able to restart and get reconnected into the game as we look to start Game 2 of this best of 5 between the North American Rejects and Boreal eSports for the grand finals of the Dota 2 Canada Cup. Right now we've got the North American Rejects ahead 1-0 as they'll look to make that 2 and get one step closer to winning the big prize. But we've got them playing on the Radiant side. We've got Ush, who took forever to restart his computer there. He's going to be playing the Tiny. Chad, once again, is going to be on the Rubik. We're going to have Korok playing the Nyx Assassin. Fogged is going to be playing the Wisp. And MSS is going to be on the Spirit Breaker. As for Boreal, they're going to put Pizza Dad on the Sand King once again. KVH is going to be playing the Wind Ranger. PQ is going to be playing the Witch Doctor. Kikoni is going to be on the Storm Spirit, and Jeppins is going to be on the Clockwork. As for starting items, nothing too surprising. No boots first for anyone on the side of North American Rejects, but we do have boots first on Pizza Dad on the Sand King, but that's really standard for any kind of Sand King. Everything else is pretty much the usual. Korok maybe going for a little bit of a different build than we typically see from a Nyx Assassin, but he's in a little bit of a different role than we typically see as well.
The battle begins.
He might have a babysitter here in the mid lane. We'll see. But so far, looks like North American Rejects are actually going to put their Tiny, their Wisp, and their Rubik all down here in the bottom lane up against this Clockwork. And Jeppins plays a pretty mean Clockwork, although we have seen it go kind of the other way for him before, as his block was not good. Not good at all, and his cogs unfortunately off the mark there as well. So he might struggle to hit level 2 here. It depends on, yeah, the lane's pretty pushed up. Chad's probably going to be able to zone him quite effectively. But Boreal, going with those lanes that I anticipated, with the Clockwork in the bottom lane, mid lane they've got this dual lane, the Storm Spirit and putting the Witch Doctor there, because I think they were expecting the Wisp and the Tiny here, but they're just going to be going up against the Nyx Assassin instead. And then the top lane, it's going to be the off lane Spirit Breaker going up against the farming Wind Ranger and the Sand King. But it looks like PQ is now going to make his way from the mid lane up here to the top, so that Pizza Dad can focus more on doing the jungly stuff, and PQ can focus more on the zony outy stuff. But so far, I think even with the way that these lanes are going to be playing out, I think Boreal's going to be in a pretty good spot. I think even if they had to run those two heroes in the mid lane, they would have been in an okay spot. They would have felt it a little bit more on their Sand King. But we'll see. We'll see. As it looks like PQ is actually going to make his way. No, he's just going to go to stack this camp for the Storm Spirit, as I was talking about before. Because that's a very, very important camp, and they may actually elect to give that to the Sand King, given that the Storm Spirit's going to be going up against the Nyx Assassin in the mid lane, which means he should do alright in this lane. Nyx is going to be able to mana burn him, so he's not going to have access to as many static remnants and effectively as many overload attacks as he normally would be. So he might not have as much power in the mid lane as you typically would have with the Storm Spirit going up against a melee mid. It looks like Jeppin's been able to pull the creep wave back towards his tower there, as that's going to allow him to hit level 3. MSS about to hit level 3 as well, as I missed a kill in the mid lane as PQ manages to make a rotation there and drop Korok in the mid lane.
Radiant's middle tower is
as
under
PQ,
attack.
I saw him after he sacked this camp make his way towards mid, but I didn't think they were really going to be able to get a kill there, but apparently I was completely wrong, and I apologize about that. But Korok going down. And now with him hitting level 4, he will put. He actually was saving his points. He only had 2 points spent, but now he'll put the second point into Impale and then pick up a point into the Spike Carapace as well. Jeppin's about to hit level 4, getting good XP in this off lane. Fogged and Chad not really able to zone him out as good as they'd like. They do have a pretty potent lane going up against a Clockwork.
And it's off.
Of course, they can always lift Clockwork and toss him back out of his cogs if he chooses, if he's forced to cogs to try and run away. They don't really have that much damage output coming out from the Wisp, but he's able to tether in and get that slow off, but also give the benefits of the tether, the move speed, the attack slow. We're going to have a battle here for the top rune, as Koroks is going to pick up that bounty rune, and there was going to be a charge from MSS in the top lane. That's going to give the North American Rejects their first kill of the game as they drop PQ on that Witch Doctor. And now Fogged, he TP'd to the mid tier 1 to try and join in on the fun there, but a little late to the party. So he'll just tether Korok and give him a bottle charge. No, I actually didn't even bottle charge him.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
MSS in a little bit of trouble in the top lane, but he will get the charge off. He's going to be charging all the way to bottom, but he'll cancel that in a little early. A little early, so now he's stuck in the trees. A little unfortunate for him, but he'll have his charge up again and he'll use it. So he's going to charge towards the mid lane going on PQ. Will he choose to follow this up? Looks like he will, as Korok is going to get initiated on by Boreal, but now, based on the positioning of PQ, MSS will definitely back away there, not looking to dive a tier 1 tower 5 minutes into the game. A little bit of a risky play it would have been for them. But we'll see some action in the bottom lane as Chad and Ush have chosen to go on Jeppins, getting him quite low, but not enough to actually bring down the Clockwork. Now Fogged will make his way back down to the bottom lane, but so is PQ, and now we see Fogg dealing that damage to the clock. Jeppins taking some balls there. Kill in the top lane as KDH is going to find a kill onto Wind Ranger, or as the Wind Ranger onto MSS, and even in the bottom lane we lost Jeppins as a missing kills all over the place. I was looking at what PQ was doing. He's making these rotations around. He rotated away from the bottom lane. I thought he was just going to go stack the Ancients, but he didn't do that. Then he went to secure Rune. And as a result of that, we may see a kill here for Boreal, and do we do is Fogg's going to go down. PQ actually getting that kill, not Kokoni, but Kokoni will find a kill of his own as he's going to drop Chad. Ush comes out of the lane to join in, but he doesn't really have much mana. He could have maybe tread swapped.
Dire's middle
Would he have
tower
had
is
enough
under
at
attack.
120? I don't think he would, but
Radiant's top tower
he definitely
is
didn't
under attack.
after the cogs push, that's for damn sure. But with Fogg coming back in, he just tethered him, gives him a bottle charge while he still has the fountain buff on him, so effectively he still ends up with 3 bottle charges, and Ush ends up with full mana. Jeppin's going to hit level 5 here with the next creep he can get an XP range of. So 6 getting closer for the Clockwork. MSS has already hit 5, so 6 is going to be a little bit closer for him. So Kokoni going on the aggressive here, trying to jump on Korok. Korok doesn't really have much to get away here. He's already used his Carapace. Vendetta's on cooldown, and that auto attack, won't finish him. Korok bottling through it. Will just barely survive, and that's a little unfortunate for Kokoni. That looked like that was going to be a kill. Flare will fly in. It will hit Korok. Oh my gosh, it won't. It was just a little bit past him. But that is a leveled up flare. That would have killed him. 160 damage. That would have killed him.
Do it with flair.
So just barely off the mark there. And oh my goodness, that would have been a nice snipe for them.
Invisibility.
Unfortunately, didn't exactly pan out for them. As for our two safe lane farmers, they look pretty much dead even, but KVH is going to lose a little bit of that as he's getting ganked. Your MSS charges in. Korok was lying in wait with the Vendetta, but they're not able to drop him. KVH gets the wind run off, and that's going to allow him to escape. PQ comes on in, and then later Pizza Dad comes in. MSS will get the charge off onto PQ. Who are we going to lose? Well, we're going to lose Pizza Dad and MSS, so one hero each. Now Pizza Dad healing salves himself back up. Korok was considering diving there, but not going to be the case. Cody TPing down to the mid, tier 1. Bull Lightning's in, jumping on Chad. Chad was able to get the lift off, but not going to be enough to keep him alive. We did have a TP in from both Ush and Fog, as they're going to look to get a return kill, and they will find it onto Kokoni, as he had used all his mana going after that Rubik. KVH now TPs to the mid lane. He'll soak up a little bit of this XP. But Ush tossing Korok in, and now KVH is going to go down. Good use of the toss and the reliable target for the toss now. You pick up and you toss the closest target to you, which is quite big, because now you know exactly who you're going to be tossing when you cast that toss. But that kill will even everything up at 6 kills apiece. Flare will fly in, not snipe any of the creeps, but deals a little bit of damage to Ush. Ush now buying his Blink Dagger, so he's going to be ready to get involved. Fogged 5.5 right now, so 6 is still a little ways out. MSS has already hit 7. We also already have 6 on our clockwork, so those two heroes are going to be looking to get involved a little bit more. Sanking, he is at 6, but no epicenter just yet. He's getting closer and closer to that Blink Dagger. About 200 gold away from it, but he might be set back a little bit here as Korok and Ush are going to find him. And there's that Blink Dagger coming out from Ush. Now they're going to find Kokoni, but Kokoni has plenty of mana to jump away here. And with all these heroes, or with these two heroes basically having everything on cooldown, they're not going to find a kill there. They will get a mana burn off on it, on Kokoni, so that'll force him back to Fountain. Now KVH in the mid lane will find a shackle onto MSS, traps into a tree. Jeppin's not able to lay down those cogs accurately, and he will have to hook shot to get back onto MSS, but it's not really going to net them a kill when it's all said and done. Up in the background, Ush getting a kill on PQ, and Jeppin's going down as well. Kokoni's going to jump in, get a kill on a Fog, but meanwhile, Pizza Dad's going to go down. Kokoni found a second as he dropped Chad, but now it might cost him his life as he's going to get tossed up in the air, but he is able to Bowl Lightning away. Ush just getting one smack away with his right click there. But it looked like he needed one more, maybe even 2 more to get the kill. We'll take a quick look.
For me.
No, it would have just been one auto attack from Ush to get the kill. These guys are all spamming chat. Ush blinks on PQ. Stun toss combo. Gets them another kill. 11-8 now in favor of the North American Rejects, but don't really expect them to slow down much at all, as we've got another relocate about to be up here. They're already tethered. It's going to be up in 2 seconds, but they're not going to need it. Ush just going to blink in, and he's going to combo Kokoni. This is not working out for them. Meanwhile, we've got a kill up in the top lane as Korok has found one on Pizza Dad, and then we're going to have the relocate, and they're going to find another kill on a KVH. Oh, North American Rejects just running away for this one. With this one, as you could tell by the draft, they wanted to pick up the pace of the game, and so far so good for them, as they're definitely dominating the play thus far.
Are fortified.
We'll switch over to the net worth, and no surprise,
Dire's top
she is
tower
number
is
one
under attack.
in our net worth. Oh, Jeppin's missing the hook shot.
Incoming!
We'll land the flare, but Ush still that number one net worth, 6,500. The closest to him is going to be
Dire's top tower
Korok, his
is
own
under
teammate,
attack.
at 5,300. Then it's going to be
Dire's top
KVH
tower
at
has
4,400. And then it's Kikoni
Heads up!
at 4,400 as well.
Zap.
But then, this is actually quite surprising here as well.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
3,300
attack.
for MSS on the Spirit Breaker. He's 0-2 and 6, but frankly, he hasn't been playing bad. He's been getting some good charges off, some good initiations, and he's been moving around, putting the pressure on the map. So despite his score being 0-2 and 6, which isn't the most attractive score, I think he's been doing a pretty good job. And he's got a decent amount of net worth to show for it, as he's ahead of both the Sand King and the Clockwork, who are pretty much dead even with Fogged on the Wisp. And that just goes to show how much gold this Wisp has, but also how behind those the Sand King and the Clockwork are for Boreal. Ush and
Radiant's
Fogged
bottom
are
tower is under attack.
hunting. They're tethered up. Will they be able to find a kill? Relocate is available. Meanwhile, Korok will find a kill in the mid lane. Vendetta plus double damage is a lot of damage.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Relocate to the bottom lane. Where they will stun toss on Pizza Dad. And get another kill. 16-8 now. In favor of the North American Rejects. Chad
Incoming!
moving around, trying to place an
Dire's
aggressive
bottom
ward down.
tower is under attack.
Not able to do so. He'll just be forced to back away. Technically, he could have still gone and placed that ward, but once your
Dire's
opponents have
bottom
basically
tower
already
is
seen
under
that
attack.
rotation, it's
It's off!
not really going to work out for you. Now the North American Rejects will take this high ground, the entrance into the Dire jungle.
We're here now. Where's the
Tony
party?
doing a little bit of farming in the jungle here while we can. There's very limited areas on the map for Boreal to be farming right now. So they're getting what they can. Korok is Vendetta in here. Using that change to spiked Carapace to stun Pizza
Radiant's
Dad
bottom
out
tower
of
is under attack.
the Sandstorm without breaking his Vendetta. That's quite important.
Dire's
That
top
means that he's
tower
going to have
is
the
under
Vendetta
attack.
damage open up on the Sand King, but unfortunately he did miss the Impale.
Dire's top tower is
Now,
under attack.
with Jeppin's hookshotting in, looks like we are going to get Korok going down here, or are we? The relocate's going to come in. They're going to save him. They're going to get a double kill as Jeppins and PQ just get completely removed from the game. Power shot off the mark, not able to finish off Fogged. Korok's going to jump back in, and they will get the kill onto KVH before the relocate finishes and brings Ush and Fogged back to their original
Dire's bottom tower
relocating
is
position,
under
but they're
attack.
just going to walk right down back to where they were before, and they're going to drop this mid or
Dire's
bottom tier 1 tower.
has fallen.
And it looks like they may choose to keep pushing here, get a little bit of damage in on the tier 2, if not drop it completely.
Dire's
Charge
bottom
coming up
tower
from
is
MSS
under
as he
attack.
charges to the mid lane onto Pizza Dad. Korok having to use the stun first to make sure that that TP was cancelled, because MSS wasn't going to be able to get there in time. But they were still able to get the kill without that little bit of damage that they were going to be missing without the Vendetta.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
North American Rejects continue to tighten that stranglehold that they have right now over Boreal eSports on this map.
Dire's bottom
And they
tower
may not
is
get this
under
tier 2
attack.
tower right now, but there's not much that Boreal can do right now in terms of pushing out past their towers to really find that farm on the map. KVH isn't really going to go much further than this in the lane, and frankly, he might get punished for this right now. And look at this. Jeppins realizing that there's a possibility of them trying to set something up here onto KVH, throws out the flare, does indeed spot out some opponents. MSS is sitting here, he's looking to engage, the relocate will come in, and this will be a full engage for the North American. Rejects his Ush. Well, it gets countered by Pizza Dad as he comes in with the Blink Dagger and the Epi. He's going to get a double. Nice bro strike coming out from him as he's able to find the stun on both the Spirit Breaker and the Rubik. And gets a kill on both as well. Big plays coming out there from Pizza Dad for Boreal. And those are the kind of plays that Boreal's going to need, because they've been getting pushed around in this game. And it looks like they're going to lose KVH here as well. Jeppins cogsing, but not even going to push a hero there. He was close, but... Now Kikoni will TP to the tier 2 and defend this tier 2. As North American rejects will kind of back away, or at least some of them did. As Ush, he's not done hunting. Now we will have a smoke from Boreal, as they're 4. They're gonna go hunting here. Will they be able to find anything? We will find that Observer Ward, but it's not the kind of thing that they were looking for. Korok now, running around Vendetta. There's no sentries out for the side of Boreal, so he doesn't really have to be all that careful. Do they have any on them? No, it doesn't look like it. Pizza Dad has one. PQ just delivered them with his with the courier.
Attack.
Tony putting some pressure in the bottom lane. And now he'll get charged. Even with the back from the lane, because he walked into this other observer ward, he's getting charged. And now Kikoni jumping back, a relocate from Ush and Fog. They will still find the kill on the Storm Spirit. It seemed a little ambitious, as Jeppins will hookshot forward. Will he be able to trap either of these heroes? Looks like they're just going to look to turn around as Ush blinked on him. But MSS maybe thinking a little bit better of it. The Shackle will find Korok latching him to a tree, but he's able to get the Vendetta off. But they will still manage to get the kill, but the Death Ward dealing so much damage. And that's a Death Ward from Chad. He stole this on the Rubik. So the Rubik Death Ward dealing all the damage there. Pizza Dad getting charged there and finished off by MSS. And we lose all but one hero on the side of Boreal's. KVH, the only one left. It looks like this tier 2 is about to go down. Glyph will delay it a little bit, but I think it's inevitable, as next swing from Tiny with that tree branch is going to bring it down. Speaking of Tiny, let's take a look at what he's got. So he's got the Blink Dagger, Agnums, and basically half of an AC. Fog just completed the Vlads. He's also got an Urn as well. Chad, typical support items, but he's also picked up a Bracer, but he's sitting on 1100 gold. I'm guessing, I don't know, 4 staff or Blinker, always really good. Korok has both.
Boom, there it goes.
The Pizza Dad and Jeppins will walk up onto their high ground. They will find MSS, but he's got a Shadow Blade, so not able to finish him off. Or even really consider going on him. Jeppins has a Staff of Wizardry. We got a Blink Dagger still as the only item for Pizza Dad. Arcane Boots for the Witch Doctor. KVH does have his Agnums. Not landing the Shackle there, and he's going to get charged by MSS. Relocate's going to bring Ush up onto the high ground. Not really all that far from the fight. MSS now getting pulled. Kikoni's going to be able to finish him off, but it does cost them PQ in the process.
is under attack.
As Korok was able to find the kill on the Witch Doctor while the Storm Spirit was going after the Spirit Breaker.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
But mid tier 2 will go down. Jeppins did manage to get his 4 staff as a result of that fight.
Rock it on!
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Almost have an Orchid finished by Kikoni. The problem is that this isn't really going to get his HP pool up, as he's really struggling going up against this Tiny. We had a Roche attempt coming up from the NA rejects, but they're forced to back away as Boreal was clearly aware of what was going on. They were walking past an observer ward, but it will get countered up now. Hush has gone right back into Roche Pit. Now Fogged will tether back in and rejoin him. The other heroes aren't showing yet, as they're both in Viz. They're smoked up, but they will find a kill on the Kikoni. Pings are coming out. Despite the fact that they see those heroes from the North American rejects up in their jungle, they know that those heroes are trying to buy space.
In your face!
Oh, look at it go!
Nice engage there coming out from Boreal, but a better relocate coming up from Fogged and Ush. It was just onto the high ground, so they will come back shortly. But Ush is not going to bring... Sorry, Fogged is not going to bring Ush back into that.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Ush
attack.
looks to re-engage. He doesn't have much HP, but it looks like he's not going to need it, as they managed to drop KVH. Pizza Dad would have loved to blink in there and done something, but he just didn't have enough mana to do anything. He's able to use his stick and get some mana. Now he'll blink out of those trees and stun up Chad. Kikoni comes flying in from downtown, getting the kill on the Storm Spirit.
Radiant's
MSS is
middle
charging.
tower is
Ush
under
still on
attack.
barely any HP.
Storm Spirit.
Will initiate
I am a
as
storm
they drop the
chaser.
Storm Spirit once again. And how many deaths has that been for the Storm Spirit? As he's sitting at 7 deaths right now. My goodness. More importantly, Ush 10, 0, and 13.
Thanks so much.
Incoming!
We'll get another smoke coming out from Boreals. They're going to try to find a kill. Give them some hope here. While their smoke's going to get popped and Korok is just going to blink at them rather than blinking away. He doesn't care. He knows how far ahead they are, but it will cost him his life. Avalanche will be off the mark. Jeppins trying to right-click MSS as best as he could there. Oh, then Pizza Dad blinks forward, throws out the stun, but doesn't find his target. They will get a kill on a Fog, though.
Been shafted.
There's effectively a 2 for 0 there. You have to think, though, that a lot of those deaths were actually just the players on North American Rejects just playing a little bit too overzealous.
Roshan has fallen to the Dire.
Is mine.
Aegis will go on to Kikoni. Still hasn't finished that Orchid. This must be it flying in on the courier. Yeah, it's the Orchid recipe. As he's going to get initiated on. Oh,
Staging a comeback.
Endurance run.
Where's the
the
body?
respawn with the Aegis enables the ball away, but things have not been looking good for the Storm Spirit here. As he can't even safely farm his jungle because Ush is all over it. Pizza Dad going to be doing a little farming of his own. Still just has that Staff of Wizardry.
Players here!
We have all these heroes here
Radiant's
for
bottom
Boreal, just
tower
farming
is
up in the
under
mid
attack.
lane. As North American Rejects did look like they wanted to go on it, but then thought better of it and backed away.
Where's the party?
Excuse me, I'm just gonna have to mute my mic for 1 second here, guys.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Alright, we're back. I apologize about that. I was desperately needing a sip of water there. But we are going to have an engage here as Ush is going to get the stun toss off onto KVH and a PQ. Pichadat tries to jump in with the epicenter, but his blink is short. He's not able to get there. Oh no, disaster for Boreal. But so far it's working out for them, kind of. They got the first kill into Korok, but they're going to lose PQ. Oh, they might get a kill here on the chat as well, as Kakoni's going to find that. Pichadat, will they be able to bring down Ush before he gets out? Oh my god, Ush just turns around, smacks Jeppins with the tree. And just drops that clockwork so quickly. Hit him so hard. Now Pichadat's going to try to escape. He uses the Burrow Strike to distance himself even further. When it's all said and done, it's a 2-for-2 trade.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
The fact that North American Rejects are going to be ahead in this game, the goal and the advantage is definitely going to go the way of Boreal for that fight specifically, but we can still see that the North American Rejects are quite a bit ahead in this game. 9,000 gold ahead, in fact. XP 6,000 in their favor as well. So far, game 2 looking very North American Rejects favored, as they're already one game up in this best of 5. That means if they're able to hold this one out, they're going to be one step closer, just one game away from winning the big prize for the Dota 2 Canada Cup, at least. As obviously these teams are, well, I shouldn't say these teams, this team, North American Rejects, trying to get themselves prepared for the international qualifiers. So they want the ticket to the big show. MSS going to charge in onto KVH, then he's going to use the Nether Strike, followed by the stun toss, but it's still not enough to bring down the Wind Ranger.
Endurance run.
We just lose the Witch Doctor. Now North American Rejects pushing high ground's got to be on their list. They've got a BKB coming out for their Tiny
Dire's
soon.
middle tower is under attack.
Epicenter coming in from Pichadat. He'll engage on Ush, but only brings him down to about half HP. And then he'll just back away, relocate from Fogged. We'll just kind of, well, relocate them just a little bit over. It was to right here, so not much distance changed. Boreal still trying to hold their high ground. And surprisingly, North American Rejects will back away. They got half HP on their Tiny. That might be one of the big deciders. It only really cost them relocate, but oh no, they might lose their Tiny here as Kakoni and Pichadat are going to jump in. And they do indeed get a kill on the Tiny. That's a beyond godlike streak going to, unfortunately, Pichadat, not to Kakoni. But still, that's a lot of gold going the way of Boreal. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Korok. Looks like he got a good stun off, but then he got trapped, or got pushed by the cogs, so losing a little bit of his mana. Boreal continues to farm here. Trying to put some pressure on this bottom tier 1. Will there be any TP support coming up from North American Rejects? I think it's too late, so that tower will go down. Kakoni getting the last hit there.
Let the fun begin. I'm over here. Zap.
Worth noting,
Whoa, what'd I
Kakoni's
miss?
gold right now, 3,200 gold. Doesn't really have any kind of defensive item right now, so you have to think that BKB's got to be next.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Ho-ho!
Pizza Dad doing a little bit of his farming of his own down there. Jeppin's really struggling this game. He's quite a bit behind in net worth. Looks like both teams just kind of sitting back farming. Boreal, it's not really sitting back. They're probably sitting on the edge of their seat here. But the North American Rejects, they're a lot more. They must feel a lot more safe with this game. Oh, Korok is going to walk right into a sentry ward when there's 3 heroes from Boreal. And that's going to mean another kill for Boreal. As they're able to bring down that Nyx assassin. Unfortunately, they did lose Pizza Dad in the process. So not in the process in the meantime, as that wasn't a direct result of the gank on the Nyx, but it was in a different location on the map. Shackle not landing to a tree. Apparently tree just a little bit too far. And my assassin will just look to re-engage with the charge. And there comes the relocate, so it's going to be all of a sudden Ush and Fog joining him as they drop Kokoni. And we will have a buyback from Pizza Dad. KVH throws out the Shackle, but not finding it to a tree. Pizza Dad jumps in. Burrow Strike not going to land. MSS now getting slowed up by the battery assault. Now the hook shot will slow him up further. Burrow Strike comes out from Pizza Dad. And eventually Jeppins gets the kill there. As I apologize about my cat suddenly just whining there. But she has left the building, so don't have to worry about that anymore. She apparently thinks this one's over, and I think we're getting close to that. There's a gold graph. Well, it's not really climbing. You know, it's been a little up and down, but for the most part, it's hovering around this area, and still very much in favor of North American Rejects. The problem, I think, going forward, is the fact that I just like the North American Rejects lineup going later into this game. So it's definitely got to be moving the other way for Boreal if they want to be looking good going forward. I'll bring up our items here so we can take a quick look at it, so we get a very quick idea of what everyone has, and if there's maybe a hero that you want to know more about what they've got, it's now up there on the screen. But, ooh, we've got a soul booster picked up by Korok, as Pizza Dad's going to stun into Ush one more time. Needs to be careful. Korok's there, and Ush is just going to re-engage with the avalanche, but Pizza Dad just able to escape that. But yeah, we've got a soul booster for the Nyx assassin.
Radiant's
Of course,
top
got
tower
that
has
gem on
fallen.
the Rubik. Besides that, all the typical stuff for the heroes on North American Rejects. As for Boreal eSports, they're clearly lacking on some of their items. You take a look at PQ. You look at how far away from getting an Aghanim Scepter he is. Kokoni. He's gone for a Bloodstone. Now we're going to have a relocate, as he did find a kill onto Korok, but it is going to cost him his life. As Fogged and Ush relocate on in, MSS is there with the charge. And now it's just going to completely fall apart for them, as Chad's going to get a kill. And then Ush also going to get a kill as PQ and Pizza Dad were the victims. Now KVH desperately trying to run for his life with that wind run, but not going to be able to get away, as we lose 4 heroes on the side of Boreal. We will have a buyback from PQ, as they're just desperately trying to keep their racks alive here. But it's just going to be Jeppins and PQ alive. So Clockwork and a Witch Doctor trying to fend off a tiny. Yikes, it's going to be quite difficult. And now with MSS charging forward, he'll be even a little bit more
Dire's
tentative.
middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle barracks. Dire's
We
middle
lose the tier
barracks
3 and we
has
lose the
fallen.
melee racks. Hookshot comes in from Japans. Buyback from KVH, as this is probably going to be their last stand. Oh, they will bring down to Ush. That's a pretty big pickoff for them. As they're also going to get the kill onto Chad. That's 3 kills for them. But they did just lose their melee racks in the mid lane. And it did cost them a buyback on KVH.
There it goes.
With that, Japans will have enough for his Aghanim Scepter. We do have the gem now on PQ, as of course Chad was holding on to that, so when the Rubik died, that gem dropped on the ground. Coney once again will hold on to the Aegis. Looks like he's since picked up a Mystic Staff. So Sheepstick probably going to be for him. Still no BKB on the Stormspirit. Pizza Dad has picked up an Ogre Club, so probably BKB for him.
Heads up.
I was going to say, KVH also had a gem?
Coming in.
That was the gem that was picked up by PQ. He just passed it over to him. As he's gonna go around doing a little bit of counter warding, using the power shot as it's gonna give you vision.
Boom, there it goes.
But it looks like now he's probably gonna drop the gem. As they don't want it for the fight, or maybe he'll hold on to it. They're gonna smoke up as 5 and see if they can find a kill. They're gonna run immediately into Korok. They throw out the shackle shot, but Korok is there with the blink dagger to distance himself, but Kikoni is able to ball lightning even further and catch up to him. MSS was charging in, he's popped the BKB, Relocate's going to bring some more heroes into the fray as well. But we've already lost Korok, but then we lost KVH and immediately Japans falls as well. Pizza Dad and Kikoni and PQ try to escape. Charge coming out from MSS, it's going to be on to PQ, Pizza Dad's there with the stun.
Dire's
Looks
middle
like that's going to be
barracks
the
are
end of
under
that
attack.
engagement, but it did
Dire's
force out a
middle barracks
buyback from
has
Japans. We lose the mid-ranged racks as the creeps were able to bring that one down.
Look at it go.
43 to 27 now in favor of the North American rejects. Gold has climbed back again. Over 12,000 gold in her favor. XP just sitting around 5,000. Kikoni jumping from way out as he's going to find a kill on the Fogged. Chad was close by, but Chad doesn't really have much mana. All he can do is lift, but he's not going to need much more than that because Ush is there and MSS are there. So they're able to do the stun toss combo, and then charge comes in from Ush. Or sorry, from MSS. Now Ush is going to get trapped into Cogs.
Radiant's bottom
But
tower
won't be
is
able
under
to get away, but it's not going to need to, as he just stood there and fought. He stood his ground as he was just right-clicking down Japans.
Radiant's
now
bottom
Korok
tower is under attack.
could be into trouble. Japans going to re-engage as he hook shots into MSS, drops the Cogs. But who's going to go down here first? It's going to be MSS with the help of that power shot from KVH. Oh, beautiful play there from Chad. As Japans threw the flare, he was on low HP. He four-staffs himself up onto the high ground. Right as Chad steals the flare, and then he snipes him with the flare. Nice play there from Chad. But Boreal does come out way ahead in that team fight as they're able to drop 4.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
The only death was that Clockwork that got sniped by
Radiant's
those.
bottom tower
Oh,
has
by the
fallen.
flare. Bottom tier 2 will go down. Boreal's still in this. They're not out of it. Don't count them out yet. Now we'll look to try and push up onto the high ground. Pizza Dad's going to jump on in with the Bro Strike. This will be a great start to the fight if they're able to get a kill, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to. MSS buys back into the game, starts charging in. Will use the Nether Strike to jump right onto Pizza Dad, and they'll get a kill onto the Sand King. And now Boreal left to retreat. And they'll all get out of there safely, with the exception of Pizza Dad. Blink Dagger now getting picked up by KVH. Or... oh. I'm completely blind. I was just like, where is it? Where is it? It's there. It's there. I'm just blind.
Puddin' pop.
Coney jumping in from deep, trying to find a kill onto Chad there. But now, it's going to get turned around on him. As, yeah, you can ball lightning in from a really long distance out, but we can also chase you a really long distance, as he's going to go down as our first casualty of this upcoming team fight. Jeppin's going to go down as well. Don't think we're going to see another here, but we may see a push on the back of this. Charge from MSS all the way to the bottom lane to farm up a little bit. Doesn't look like the North American rejects are willing to push at this moment. Playing it still, maybe a little bit safe. Korok always invis, always hunting, won't find a kill there or even a target to really go on. North American rejects look to set something up as Ush blinks in, but doesn't actually engage on the KVH. Pizza Dad, no hesitation from him as he's going to engage. But, oh no. North American rejects are waiting for that one. PQ is going to lay down the death ward, but it's no good. I mean, it's doing a lot of damage. The problem is it's not going to get nothing to kill. And on top of that, Chad able to steal it. He will lose a lot of his mana when he gets pushed out of those cogs. But look at this, up on the high ground, lays down the death ward, and it is doing work. So much damage. Jeppins will hook shot in to cancel it, but also get the kill. But then he gets immediately dropped by Ush as he's going to blink in with the stun toss combo and finish him off. Korok on very, very low HP will escape. Pizza Dad looking for a kill, but not able to find it. Kikoni tries to jump on Ush, but Ush with the fast fingers blinks away. And then the stun toss combo comes out and the storm spirit's going to go down. Pizza Dad re-engages with the burrow strike. And he does stun everyone. The problem is he drops into sandstorm and then he gets broken out of that sandstorm by the spike carapace coming out from Korok. So we do lose all 5 heroes on the side of Boreal. And North American rejects will look to push here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They already have creeps in the mid lane and creeps in the top lane. Have got to the tier 3, so they can just run straight up to the tier 3. There are some respawns coming up though. KVH just respawned, 5 seconds till PQ. Then another 10 seconds until we'll have Korok sitting there in Viz will actually get a sentry ward dropped on his head and then immediately get shackle shotted.
So damn dead, I'd shoot you again.
So the tier 3 does take some damage, but doesn't fall just yet. 361 HP left on it.
It's up. Boom, there it goes.
But you have to consider that the North American rejects are going to be looking to close this one out soon, as most of these team fights have been going their way. There's been a few exceptions here or there, but they are very much in command of this game. And with that tier 3 taking a lot of damage there, the next fight will probably the next, I'd say, one-sided fight for North American rejects will probably end in the end. Well, we'll probably end the game. That's what I'm trying to say. Well, we won't see that just yet. This is a big, big tiny. Look at the net worth difference. 26,200 for the Tiny. Second place is the Storm Spirit at 17,900. He's almost 10k net worth above anyone else in the game. He's sitting at 19, 3, and 20.
Incoming!
Oh!
Pizza Dad with the smoke will jump on Ush, but they immediately realize it's a not good situation for them as they're going to try to run away. Problem is that MSS was charging in. Jeppins cancels it with the hook shot, but Ush has popped that BKB. He'll find it, kill onto PQ. Now we'll get forced back by the Cogs. Jeppins finds a hook onto MSS, so it's just... we've already lost Kikoni as well, my mistake. KVH will go down as well. Gem on the floor. But no reason for them to rush and go pick that up. They'll pick it up after they win this team fight, as they're going to bring down Jeppins, and Pizza Dad's going to be soon to follow as well. Another gem on the floor. Is that a second? I think so. Yeah, 2 gems on the ground right now.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Jeppins will buy back. He's the only
Dire's
one
middle
with
tower
buyback
is under
available
attack.
on the side of Boreal. And North American Rejects, I think, sensing that, they'll just go for the win here.
Middle tower has fallen.
As the tier 4s have fallen, and the Ancient's about to go down as well. Jeppins hook shots in, gets lifted. GG will get called by Pizza Dad as the North American Rejects take game 2 of this best of 5 as they're ahead 2-0. Just one more win for them and they're walking away with the title. Boreal's going to have to take 3 games back to back to back off of the North American Rejects to close this one out. The problem is that North American Rejects have yet to drop a game in this tournament. So it's going to be a tough order, but we'll see if Boreal's able to do it in our next game. So we'll be back in probably about 5 minutes with that game. If you did enjoy the cast, hit that follow button. Also hit me up on Twitter at NizCast. And all the VODs will be going up to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/NizCast. Also, head on over to DotA2.ca to find out more about the Dota 2 Canada Cup. And you can also buy an in-game ticket for $8.99 American, which helps support the tournament and also the players through well, a portion of those ticket sales going to increasing the prize pool. But I will be back in that 5 minutes, and we'll have Game 3 for you in just a minute.